sometimes you're scared to do things. Maybe you're scared to go to a bar association meeting because you're intimidated and you don't know anyone. But I would say do it anyway, do it afraid. And you can always learn from your mistakes, or something that seems like it's a bad experience could end up being a good experience.
Welcome back to the Sterling Family Law Show, the podcast designed to help family attorneys live and build the firm of their dreams. I am your host, Tyler Dolph. I'm also the CEO of our law firm marketing agency, Rocket Clicks, that was built out of our own law firm, Sterling Lawyers, that has grown to over 27 attorneys. Today, we continue our owner-operator series, and we talked to Chris, who is a solo attorney in Houston, Texas. She built her firm around her life, and she has some great insights for us today. Chris, thank you so much for your time today. We're excited to have you on the show. I would love the opportunity to have you introduce yourself and give us a little background on yourself and your firm.
Okay. Well, Tyler, I appreciate you asking me to be on. I think you have a great podcast. I've watched it a little bit and learned a few things. So I think this is a really great forum. So I'm Chris Lincoln. I'm a solo practitioner. I mainly work on family law cases and divorce cases here in Houston, Texas. And I've been doing this for almost 25 years as a solo practitioner.
Wow, 25 years as solo. Tell us, how did you start your office? Why did you start your own firm? And how's life as a solo?
Well, it's interesting. It keeps me busy. One of the things that works for me as a solo practitioner is it allows me to have the flexibility that I want and need in my life. I have a daughter who is 17, and like I said, I've been doing this 25 years. So it's allowed me to, leave the office and go to all the school functions, whether they're planned or, not planned, and you get that call where you need to go at the last minute. So I've been able to do that most of the time. But I graduated from law school in 1998 from Loyola in New Orleans. And at the time, I was married to my first husband, and his job took us to Houston. So we moved to Houston in 1998, and I had no connections here, and was not successful in finding a job at a law firm. So I did contract work for about a year, and then after that, I decided to start my own law firm in about 2000, and I've been on my own ever since.
Amazing. Did you have ambitions to grow and get paralegals and other attorneys, or was the goal always like, I'm going to keep it small, I'm going to be flexible and live that lifestyle?
So the goal was never really to have other attorneys, but at one time I did have two paralegals, and I was very busy. And then I just got to the point where I decided I needed to scale back because I needed to spend more time with my family, and my daughter has a lot of activities. So I didn't really have the desire to grow the firm, and I was much busier, 10 years ago than I am now, but I'm as busy as I'd like to be.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. I think that's one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur is you can decide, what you want to build and how you want to build it, and it's totally up to you.
Exactly. So that's one of the biggest blessings of being a solo practitioner for me.
Love that. Take me back to 25 years ago when you started the firm. What were some of those kind of key lessons early on that you had to figure out, or that you would do a little bit differently if you started over today?
So one of the key lessons that I had to learn was that I needed to find mentors. And I figured that out along the way, but it would have been nice if I had figured that out sooner. Might have saved me some hardship. But that was a big learning experience. And it worked out, and I found some really great people to observe and talk to, and who gave me a lot of good advice.
Any of that advice you remember you still use today?
Oh, definitely. I had a lawyer who had been practicing for about 20 years herself, and she took me out to lunch, and she said, Chris, do not offer free consultations. It's the worst thing you can do. Now, I do family law, so I realize in other industries it's different. For example, personal injury. But I took that advice, and I quit offering free consultations. So that was very helpful.
Yes, More phone calls and headaches as opposed to people who are serious and wonderful.
Exactly. Exactly.
Have you been practicing family law the whole time?
I have. I've been practicing family law the whole time. And when I started out, I did a little bit of business law, setting up corporations. And then I also did quite a bit of estate planning for about 20 years, setting up wills and powers of attorney. And then about 5 years ago, I quit the estate planning business and now I just do the family law.
What is it about family law that keeps you coming back every day?
Um, I like seeing people get a fresh start in life. They come to me with a problem. Typically, they're distraught. Something's not working in their life. And my job is to give them a solution and put them on the path to a fresh start.
That's really great. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we talk all the time at our firm about the opportunity to, yes, solve a problem, but also ensure that people are able to, take that next step in their life and move forward and do so with confidence, because it's not easy.
It's not, but that's probably one of the most rewarding things about my job is to see people, have confidence when they're finished with the case and know that they can go on and have a happy life.
Hey, family law firm leaders. My partner, Tony Carls, just released his book where he lays bare our precise blueprint for growing sterling lawyers from 0 to 17 million. This is the blueprint that we still use daily. And Tony explains it in very simple terms. The truth is, this is not simple to do. Success requires and demands hard work, but if you have the patience and the work ethic to do it, your family law firm will succeed.
Chris, if I'm listening to this and I'm thinking about starting my own practice and I want to be a solopreneur because I like the idea of flexibility, what are some things that I need to know going in that'll allow me to be successful a little bit faster?
You need to have a plan, which is what you hear every, business coach say, but you really do need to have a plan. I know for myself, when I started out, I probably spent 40 to 50% of my time just on marketing. And I have a business degree and a marketing and sales background, so that came pretty natural to me. And I read books on marketing and, rainmaking and how to build your law firm. So I would encourage anyone who's starting out to, read books, listen to podcasts like this, talk to other attorneys who are doing what you want to do and who are successful and find out what's worked for them.
Yes, I love it. Have you being a solopreneur to me it's like all about systems and process, finding efficiency wherever you can. It's because you have to work the cases, but you also have to collect payment and pay bills and deal with the internet when it goes out. What are some of the tools or processes or efficiencies that you've built to help you manage your day to day?
I have an answering service and it's really helpful. They will send me an email to let me know when somebody's called, or if somebody leaves a voicemail, then it goes straight to my email system. And I have my phone with me all the time. So right away, I know if I have a message. Most of my clients contact me on email. They'll call me, but I do a lot of email, and my clients know I'll respond within 24 hours. So nobody ever has a hard time getting a hold of me. And then I have a billing software that I use. And then I have an assistant that comes in a few times a month to help me do the billing. And then I have a contract paralegal that I use to help me get my drafting. And then I also have a courthouse service that I use to help me keep on top of my filings and keep up when orders are signed and setting hearing dates.
So you've really kind of optimized your systems so that you can do the work that's important and not be bogged down by all the to do.
Exactly, exactly. And then, of course, I have IT people who make sure the computers and everything are running, and then a website company that hosts and manages my website.
All the boxes checked.
All the boxes checked.
Yeah,
I'm
for 25 years,
trying to
I'm
keep
sure
up.
you've figured some things out.
Yes.
And what is it, Chris? What does the future look like for your firm? Do you plan on continuing to work and, or are you going to be a bigger part of your daughter's life? Like, what's the future look like for you?
I'll probably probably work for the next 15 or 20 years for as long as I can. I'm not one of those persons who has big retirement plans, but I realize I probably can't work forever. But I plan on continuing to do this basically until I can't.
That's great. That's great. Chris, I appreciate your time, your story. Leave us with some wisdom, some imparting words, lessons learned, anything that any of our listeners can use as they're building their firm.
Sure. When you're starting out, or maybe any time in life, sometimes you're scared to do things. Maybe you're scared to go to a bar association meeting because you're intimidated and you don't know anyone. But I would say do it anyway, do it afraid. And you can always learn from your mistakes, or something that seems like it's a bad experience could end up being a good experience. And I'll just throw out one little story real quick. In 2013, I had a client give me a really bad review on Avo, and I was very upset about it. And he also gave me a bad review on Facebook and Yelp, if you can believe that. So I was a little discouraged. But what I did is I went and asked former clients if they would start writing reviews for me. And ever since then, I do that as a matter of habit. When the case is finished, I'll ask the client to write me a review on Avo or Google, and it's worked out. So something that started out to be a bad experience ended up being a blessing in disguise. So you never know what can happen.
Reviews are so important.
They really are. Yeah.
Especially to your online visibility as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So I think having a website and social media presence is very important to be successful in this day and age.
I love it. Chris, I'm so appreciative of your time, your insights, wishing you the best of luck, and look forward to your continued success.